Hello, my name is Crot. I'm going to talk about tax, especially in Rwanda. The first thing I want to start on is what we call taxation. When someone says taxation, taxation is a system in which government and other recognized bodies and agents are imposing tax on people and collecting them. Or in short word, taxation is an act of collecting taxes from public. So tax is paid in the following circumstance. First, in Rwanda, we have what we call personal income tax or pay as in. These taxes are charged on people's income, especially they are paid their monthly salaries and wages. So you have also what you call value added tax, or in short word we call it VAT. It is tax charged on product reach out to the market. You can't charge the product within the ground. So pay or value added tax is paid on when the product reach out to the market. So the other thing I want to say about tax is the important tax. Is it tax important? Yes, of course, tax is important. How? Let me take an example. In government planning, it can plan in its budget that at least 50% of its planning will be receiving a food taxation. So, in other words, taxation is a good way of raising government revenue, which is good practice of making our country developed and construction of various infrastructures like roads, schools, and health centers. So the first one, tax is a good way of raising government revenue. Secondly, tax. Tax is a good tool of reducing inflation. How? When government realizes that there is high level of multiplication within people, it can use tax as a good tool to reduce that inflation. For example, it can impose high taxes on people on various activities so as to reduce money circulation, and then after the inflation will be reduced. Thirdly, taxation is a good way of reducing income inequality within people. How? This because we have in the tax we have what we call progressive tax. This is where the people who earns much money or earns high amount of money charge a much amount rather than those people who are poor. In this progressive rate, the richest people pay much money rather than poorest people. So this is a good way of reducing inequality, income inequality within public. So we have in Rwanda what we call personal income tax. The personal income tax is a tax charged on the individual who earns some amount of money within a given period, especially in monthly basis. Those tax charged on their income, but individually is called personal income tax. Pay. Pay is in a short abbreviation for income tax person as in this, as name pay as in this means that employee or worker pay tax according to his earnings in monthly basis on annual basis. This pay is aimed to ensure that people pay their income tax on regular basis, especially throughout the year. Yeah. Now let me take an example of people who get 2,100 franc. I think you see here. Uh, uh, Suppose that the people get that person gets 2,000, 200,000 franc as a gross income. So in Rwanda we have a tax rate in which the person who gets below 60,100 francs is exempted or pays 0% of his income. But for a person who gets at least from 60,100 francs up to 100,000 francs is willing and able to pay 10% of his income. So for a person who gets 200,000 francs, as you see here, we take that gross income of 2,100 francs minus the tax of people who didn't pay tax or that money of exempted people, which is equal to 60,000. And the taxable income will be to one. You take 200,000 minus 60,000, and the guy to let me take this 60. Okay, 1,000 for 40,100 francs, and as the tax rate in Rwanda, he is going to pay 10% from 60,000 up to 100,100 francs. So between 60,000 up to 100,100 francs, there is a sum of money which is equal to 40,000, and you take that 40,000 times 10 percent, 10 over 100, and this means the tax will be 4,100 francs. That's the tax rate between 60,000 and 100,100 francs. And we know that in the given example, the gross income is above 100,000 francs. So that means that we are finishing to charge taxes between 60,000 up to 100,100 francs, and the remaining balance is 100,100 francs. Then, because it is above 1,000, we are going to multiply it with 20%. 20% of 100,100 francs is going to be 20,100 francs, and the total tax that person who gets 200,100 francs is going to be 24,100 francs. So that's what the government, the Rwanda Revenue Authority, recognized body is saying. Another thing I wanted to say about is contribution to our Rwanda Social Security Board pension scheme. Currently, the contribution rate for pension scheme of Rwanda Standard Social Security Board is 6% for a person who is willing to pay his pension individually. But for an employed worker, the pension law scheme is 3%, which is charged which is charged on employee, and 3% which is based on employee. So the tax of the pension scheme in Rwanda is equal to 6% of gross income. Another thing I want to say about taxes, let me take an example. Let's consider a monthly pension scheme of a person is 0.3% as an example. Let me take the example. A person who gets 700,000 francs, and we given that 3% of his income is going to be pension scheme, and 0.3% of his gross income is going to be maternity scheme. So 3% of 700,000 is going to be 21k, I think, yes. And 0.3 of out of 700,000 is going to be 2,100, and means that the person will be able to be charged to 20k plus 2,100 Rwandan franc. So he will be able to pay 23,000 Rwandan franc and 100. So another thing I want to say about how much is required contribution to RSS medical scheme. Currently, the medical scheme is charged to be 15%. It is current. So that's the summary, and I wish that you can, for more information, you can visit the website of Rwanda Revenue Authority to get more information. Thank you so much for watching this video.